Hello everyone, Jeff with the Green Review here. Carbon dioxide is not pollution. For plants, it's a fertilizer of sorts. It's a molecule that is recycled through plants, animals, and the atmosphere, just like oxygen, nitrogen, and many others. The current level, around 400 parts per million, or 0.04% of the present atmosphere, is way below amounts in the past, which may have been as high as 8,000 parts per million, or 0.8%. The U.S. federal threshold level for carbon dioxide in underground mines is currently 5,000 parts per million. Before the 1940s, the threshold level was over 12,000 parts per million. These levels are not hazardous to humans. They're the concentrations at which miners can safely move out of the mine and the passage is ventilated. Today's atmospheric concentration of CO2 is clearly safe for humans, and at today's rate of increase will be for another 1,000 years. The carbon dioxide in our current atmosphere is lower than in the past because so much is stored in fossil fuels and limestone that used to be live plants and animals. The carbon, oxygen, carbon dioxide, and other elements found in fossil fuels and calcium carbonate of limestone were once in the atmosphere, water, and land. It moved out of the atmosphere, water, and land and into plants and aquatic organisms that are now fossil fuels and limestone. Limestone is about 10% of all sedimentary rock in the whole world. If fossil fuels are burned, the carbon dioxide goes back into the atmosphere where it used to be, because the fossil plants are decaying finally back into nothing and releasing their components back into nature for more recycling. During photosynthesis, plants use atmospheric carbon dioxide and water molecules to form carbohydrate molecules, such as glucose, while oxygen is released. During respiration, in all organisms that obtain energy by breaking down sugars, fats, and amino acids with oxygen as part of their metabolism, carbon dioxide is released back to the atmosphere. This includes all plants, algae, animals, and aerobic fungi and bacteria. So just about everything living except for the few things that live anaerobically, the few fungi and bacteria that can live in areas without oxygen. Everything else uses carbon dioxide or uses oxygen and releases carbon dioxide back into the atmosphere during respiration. During photosynthesis, plants can absorb more carbon dioxide from the atmosphere than they release in respiration. The extra carbon dioxide is converted into chemicals the plant uses. But at night, only respiration occurs and some of the released oxygen is combined with sugar to fuel the plant's metabolism with carbon dioxide and water being released. Each kind of plant has a thrive, survive, and slow death range for carbon dioxide. For most plants, below 150 parts per million is the slow death range. Below 220 parts per million is the survive range. It's difficult to know the maximum for the thrive range, but outdoor experiments adding carbon dioxide around plants show that at 475 to 600 parts per million, there was an average gain of 17% in crop yield. At the same time, water usage goes down from 5 to 20% because the stomata on the leaf can remain closed longer under the high carbon dioxide levels. The plants also produced 30 to 40% more carbohydrates in the plant leaves, but 5 to 15% less nitrogen and therefore less protein. In greenhouse experiments, increasing carbon dioxide levels to 1,000 parts per million increases photosynthesis by 50%. As we know, the only way there can be an increase in growth by adding more of a nutrient is if the lack of that nutrient was limiting growth. Current low atmospheric carbon dioxide levels of around 400 parts per million are limiting the growth of many plants. It's hard to maintain consistent levels of carbon dioxide around plants in open air experiments, and they may grow even better in an atmosphere with more carbon dioxide. As the temperature rises above 77 degrees Fahrenheit, plants use 45% more carbon dioxide. So what's all this mean to me? Over their entire life cycle, plants do not create excess oxygen, carbon dioxide, or other chemicals or nutrients. This is a zero-sum game. They start with nothing and decay into nothing, but hold carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, and other chemicals in the plant for a lag time measured in days for small plants and decades for large trees. Planting trees and other plants doesn't permanently consume carbon, and cutting them down doesn't permanently release it. Another, what's this mean to me? We would never want to reduce the quantity of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere without considering the negative effect that it would have on plant life. A final, what's this mean to me? Increasing carbon dioxide around plants is called carbon dioxide fertilization or carbon dioxide enrichment. It's a useful tool in greenhouse management, but impractical in outdoor gardens. One of the science fair projects kids may do is sing to one set of plants and not to another set to see if singing helps plant growth. It may be that the carbon dioxide breathed on the plants while singing actually does improve plant growth. And this is Jeff with the Green Review. Thanks for watching.